In every corner of the world, a story waits to be told, tales of wonder, mystery, and adventure. Welcome to Tales in the Shadows, where every word brings a new world to life. From ancient myths to modern legends, this is your haven for stories that captivate, inspire, and ignite the imagination. Now let the journey begin. In the heart of Persia's vast desert, an alchemist named Navid tirelessly sought the secret to eternal life. His workshop, hidden in the crevices of the Qaf Mountains, brimmed with ancient texts, bubbling elixirs, and the faint hum of arcane energy. Shelves overflowed with jars containing rare herbs, minerals, and artifacts scavenged from forgotten ruins. Yet every experiment ended in failure. Potions curdled into poison, spells unraveled before completion, and each failure weighed heavily on his soul. The sands of time felt as though they slipped faster through his fingers with every passing day. His desperation reached its peak when he stumbled upon a cryptic manuscript whispered to be the work of Anahita, the ancient goddess of wisdom. The text's ink, shimmering faintly like liquid starlight, described the Simurgh, a firebird of legend whose tears were said to hold the essence of immortality. The manuscript detailed the bird's home atop the fabled Qaf Mountains, a place that existed at the edge of the mortal world, where light and darkness clashed eternally. The Simurgh's rebirth, it said, was a cosmic event that maintained the balance between these forces. Navid pored over the manuscript for days, deciphering riddles and maps etched into its margins. Each revelation filled him with equal parts hope and dread. The journey it described was perilous, crossing treacherous deserts, braving storms, and facing trials that could break even the most steadfast spirit. Yet his resolve burned brighter than ever. Packing his satchel with potions, tools, and provisions, Navid set out at dawn, leaving behind the comfort of his secluded workshop for the unknown. The desert's heat was relentless, turning sand into molten gold that seemed to stretch endlessly beneath a cloudless sky. Each step felt heavier than the last, as though the earth itself sought to deter him. Navid's mind wandered to the life he had left behind, a life of solitude, consumed by his obsession with conquering death. He had long since abandoned friendships and family, viewing them as distractions. But now, amidst the desolation, a faint ache of longing stirred within him. After weeks of grueling travel, Navid arrived at the base of the Qaf Mountains. The peaks loomed above him, their jagged spires piercing the heavens. A swirling mist cloaked the slopes, whispering secrets he could not decipher. The air grew colder with each step as he ascended, his breath visible in the thin atmosphere. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional rustle of wind through the rocks. As he climbed, he began to notice strange symbols etched into the stone, glowing faintly as if guiding his path. When he finally reached the summit, Navid's heart nearly stopped. The firebird's nest, a sprawling structure of ash and molten gold, shimmered in the morning light. At its center perched the Simurgh, a creature of unearthly beauty. Its feathers blazed with hues of crimson, gold, and orange, each one seeming to carry the light of 1,000 suns. The air around it crackled with energy, a living embodiment of creation and destruction intertwined. Navid was awestruck, his earlier doubts and fears momentarily forgotten. The stillness was shattered as the skies darkened without warning. A cold wind swept through the peaks, carrying with it a suffocating sense of dread. Shadows coalesced into a monstrous form, Ahriman, the embodiment of chaos and darkness. The entity's presence felt like an eclipse of the soul, draining warmth and light from the world. The balance of existence teetered precariously as the firebird's glow dimmed under the oppressive weight of the shadows. Navid, caught in the midst of this celestial confrontation, felt his courage falter. He had never imagined his quest would lead to such a confrontation. The Simurgh's flames flared defiantly, illuminating the mountainside in radiant gold as it rose to face Ahriman. Tendrils of shadow lashed out from the dark figure, writhing like serpents as they sought to extinguish the firebird's light. The clash between these primal forces shook the very earth, the air vibrating with each blow. Navid watched, paralyzed by fear and awe, until he realized the Simurgh was faltering. Ahriman's darkness pressed forward, snuffing out the flames inch by inch. The realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. He could not remain a passive observer. Reaching into his satchel, Navid retrieved a vial containing one of his most volatile concoctions, a potion designed to amplify energy. It was untested, its effects unpredictable, but he had no other choice. With trembling hands, he hurled the vial toward the firebird. The potion exploded in a blinding burst of light upon contact, its energy absorbed into the Simurgh's form. The firebird's flames roared to life, brighter and hotter than the sun. Empowered, the Simurgh surged forward, its radiant light slicing through the tendrils of shadow. Ahriman let out a furious roar as its form began to disintegrate, consumed by the overwhelming brilliance. In a final, deafening crescendo, the darkness was vanquished, and balance was restored. As the first rays of dawn broke over the mountains, the Simurgh landed gracefully beside Navid. Its flames, once fierce and blinding, now radiated a gentle warmth. From its eye fell a single tear, shimmering like liquid gold. Navid caught it in a crystal vial, his hand steady despite the weight of what he had witnessed. The firebird's gaze lingered on him for a moment before it took flight, its radiant form ascending into the heavens until it was no more than a speck of light. Left alone on the mountainside, Navid stared at the vial in his hand. The tear was not the key to immortality he had sought, but something far greater, a symbol of balance, healing, and the interconnectedness of all things. As he began his descent, the weight of his choices settled upon him. He had sought to conquer death, but in doing so, he had found a purpose far greater, to safeguard the delicate harmony between light and darkness. The journey down the Qaf Mountains was slow and reflective. The landscape, once ominous, now seemed imbued with a quiet serenity. Navid's heart burned with a new flame, not of ambition, but of understanding and resolve. He returned to his workshop a changed man, the echoes of the firebird's light guiding him for the rest of his days. Thank you for journeying with us through Stories Untold. We hope these tales have sparked your imagination and ignited your sense of wonder. Until next time, when another world calls, remember, every story is just a shadow waiting to be revealed.